Small figures in a vast crisis. Every night now they come in their thousands. Most are women and children, terrorized by war. And for the children, how frightening is it, the war?
They keep screaming. They can't sleep. They cry all the time.
In the distance, in the country behind them, smoke rises from an explosion. But on this side of the border, they meet soldiers who try to help, not kill. At each border crossing, our forces are there to receive them, Brigadier General Al-Habashne tells me. We take them somewhere safe to restore their sense of security. This is the place of safety, Zaatari camp, where nearly 70,000 Syrian refugees are now being cared for by the Jordanian government and the United Nations. All day people are continuing to arrive here, some 3,000 in the last 24 hours, and we're told there are tens of thousands more waiting on the other side of the border. All of this is putting a huge strain on the resources of the camp.
Well, it's extremely critical. We know there's about 50 to 60,000 who are ready to cross into Jordan. We know that we've done as well as we can given the resources that we've got, which is that we've got no resources anymore. We need money now desperately to expand this camp as well as open two others. So far, the UN has raised just 3% of what it needs to care for the refugees in Jordan over the next 12 months. And help of all kinds is needed. This woman cares for her severely disabled nephew. Her own husband was killed in Syria. People do what they can to create some dignity in their surroundings. But among many of the refugees, there's a sense the world beyond the camp has abandoned them.
This is a disaster. Disaster. There is no value for the child, for a human being. No value at all. Where's the humanity?
These are images of one day in the life of Zaatari camp. The newcomers struggle with flinty ground. The young learn quickly the burdens of an adult world in turmoil. And the men mourn 3-month-old Ezat Al-Wadi, who died a few days after arriving here. It was a tragedy that might easily have happened at home in Syria, but to bury their child in exile deepens the grief. At twilight on the border, the people keep coming by any means they can. We watched as these families boarded boats on the Syrian side. But with their numbers growing and scant international aid promised, for how much longer can Jordan offer sanctuary? Fergal Keane, BBC News, on the Syria-Jordan border.